Welcome to the Anywhere School. Welcome to the Anywhere School 2022. My name is Tom Gerke, and I lead our North America Education Customer Team. 10 years ago, when I first joined this team, I
We'll be live in a moment. While you wait, here are some tips for tuning in. Most importantly, get comfy. Then, turn up your volume. Subtitles? Turn them on using the gear icon in the bottom right of the video. Just in case you missed something, we'll post the full recording on our event page tomorrow. Chime in on social by following @Google4EDU and using #TheAnywhereSchool. Get ready to discover what's new with Google for Education in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Anywhere School 2022. My name is Tom Gerke, and I lead our North America Education Customer Team. 10 years ago, when I first joined this team, I took the opportunity to visit schools to see firsthand how students were using Chromebooks and learn about the potential impact of this new technology. One particular elementary school I visited used a blended learning model to differentiate learning based on individual needs. The school had a diverse population. Some students lived in multiple family households where no one spoke English, while others had parents who both worked in technology. I had the chance to ask second and third graders about their Chromebook experience, and I'll never forget what one kid told me. He said, "It lets me go further." Now, 10 years later, and I have an 8-year-old daughter who just received her own Chromebook from school. It was a proud dad moment for me, but there was a catch. Her primary learning environment is still packets of printed paper worksheets, tons of them. It made me realize that having tools like Chromebooks often isn't enough. Each year, my team and I speak with thousands of educators around the world to better understand how you are using technology in your classrooms, so we can help amplify your efforts and, most importantly, help students pursue their personal potential. Today, you'll hear from our Chromebook, Classroom, and Google Workspace teams about how we're building towards a future where everyone can thrive. From a new tool that helps educators and students record, transcribe, trim, annotate, and share content right from their Chromebooks, to our adaptive learning technology, which uses AI to give real-time help to students, and so much more. And speaking of real-time help, we'll also be conducting live polls throughout today's session to get your feedback. So please cast a vote when they come up on the right side of your screen. We want to know what you think. And thanks for joining us at the Anywhere School 2022. We're thrilled to have you here with us.
Hi, I'm Andy Russell. I work on the Chromebook education team at Google, and today I'm with Tara Wolfinger, a 5th grade teacher and Google certified trainer, to introduce you to some powerful new tools built for teachers using Chromebooks. Tara, the last couple of years have been a little nuts.
A little bit.
Yeah, we've seen this amazing shift in classrooms from shared devices to one-to-one devices. I think your school is one of them. How's that going?
Actually, our district is 1-to-1 K through 12, and it's been a tremendous change for the students. So great to see.
It's been awesome for us to see how students are taking these devices home, and they have access to all their classroom materials for their homework. They have access to amazing learning tools to create and share things at home as well. And for you as a teacher, I have to imagine it's kind of a game changer for the classroom.
Oh, it's been so helpful, and it really stops the barrier of the students that had it home and the students that have not.
Yeah.
Now everybody's got more of a level playing field, and they all have the same access to resources at home, which is tremendous on a teacher's side for homework and other things.
It's nice to hear. Thanks. Today, there are over 50 million Chromebooks used in schools around the world, and they're constantly evolving to meet the needs of students and teachers. One of those needs is for students to recap lessons on their own time, at their own pace, and share what they've learned in their own way. That might be written, verbal, or increasingly with video, which is why we're so very happy to share a new tool on every Chromebook called Screencast. Screencast is an easy-to-use screencasting tool that enables students and educators to record, transcribe, trim, annotate, and share lessons right from their Chromebooks, and they're all stored on Google Drive. We want to help you build a library of instructional videos, custom-tailored for your students, screencasts that they can search and replay to help with homework or study for tests, or just to take another crack at a tough concept. Do you have any examples of how you use screencast in the classroom?
Yeah, so my 5th graders do a passion project where they make some slides and they recorded their screen and voiceover presented it for each other, and it was tremendously exciting for them to see everybody's.
So with screencast, you can record your class as you teach and review the lesson afterwards. You could record the next day's lesson right after class. Both the video and a transcript are automatically uploaded to Google Drive for easy, secure sharing within your school domain. You can then trim the recording by simply selecting a section of a transcript and clicking Skip. There's no need to import or splice, cut, render, or upload. Sending snippets is as easy as record, right-click to skip a few paragraphs, and share your screencast. You can even draw on your screen as you record, using a touchscreen or a stylus to diagram or highlight key ideas. And now it's time to see screencast for yourself.
The best lessons are those we take with us. And now, Chrome OS is helping to make this easier. With Screencast, teachers can record instructional videos or live classes with built-in transcription and translation. Students can also use Screencast to record video reports, presentations, or to access lessons remotely. All recordings are automatically uploaded to Google Drive. Here's how it works. To record a lesson, open the Screencast app on your Chromebook and click New Screencast. This records the speaker's face and voice along with the content on screen. The marker tool allows you to point to and highlight specific parts of your screen while you are presenting. Once the recording is stopped, Screencast transcribes spoken words into text. Both the video and transcript are automatically uploaded to Google Drive for easy sharing within your school domain. When you open the recording, you will see the video on the left and an auto-generated editable transcript on the right. You can also trim the video simply by clicking Skip Section. You can choose to go back and undo these changes later. By clicking the Share button, you'll receive a unique video link to share with your students. With this link, students can open the recording on their Chromebooks. They can use the transcript to locate and re-watch key portions of the video, and translate text into their language of choice. Anyone at your school can use Screencast. All you need is a Chromebook and something to say.
All right, now it's time to see Screencast for yourself. We're inside of the Screencast app here, and I'm gonna start a new screencast. I click on the button up top. You can see me in the little webcam window there. If we want, we can kind of move it around wherever we want to. And I'm going to open up my video here. I actually created something sort of like this earlier. And you can see in my recording, I can now scrub the video and see different parts of my lesson. And I can actually scroll the transcript on the right-hand side, jump to different parts of the video here. And it will actually take me to that part of the video. The other really cool thing is I can, of course, search for terms. So if I want to say hypotenuse, then it'll jump straight to the part of the video where I'm talking about the hypotenuse. Pretty cool. If, as a creator, I want to actually trim my recording down a little bit, I can just right-click on the More Options menu, and I can click Skip Section. And this allows me to trim my recording down, make it a little tighter before I send it off and share it with my students. And then lastly, when I'm ready to share it with those students, I just click on the top right here, click Share. Everything by default is set to private, but I can just one click share with others and then copy the link and paste it into Google Classroom or an email or a Google Doc to share with my students. So with Screencast, we capture not just your screen, the video, but we get the transcript as well, which does a lot of things for us. But one of them that I love is searching, right? Anybody can put in a keyword and kind of search it and jump straight to that point of the video.
Absolutely. That was like a wow game changer moment for myself and my students, because sometimes the video gets kind of long, and to be able to search for a key term and really focus our direction and attention on that moment makes it so exciting and interactive for us. And it saves time in the classroom, which is tremendously helpful.
So let's talk a little bit about sharing in the classroom. Traditionally, teachers have been able to share their screen. They can plug an HDMI cord into the side of their Chromebook and display it for the rest of the class. But that's been I don't know, a little restrictive. Like it locks you to the head of the class, or maybe you have to like turn your back to the class as you're writing on the whiteboard.
For sure, we're tethered to that corner desk all of the time.
Yeah, and you can't get out into the classroom to actually engage with your students and have more interpersonal interactions, right? Mm-hmm. How about the students though? Like students have never been able to share their screens with the rest of the classroom.
No, and they often really want to. So the ability for me to move around the room freely and have them still project at the same time is tremendous.
That's why we built Cast Moderator for schools. Coming to select devices with Google TV, Cast Moderator is a new mode that enables both educators and students to wirelessly share their screen to a class display using an access code. Only folks in the same classroom as the display are able to cast. Let's take a look at Cast Moderator.
Wirelessly cast your Chromebook screen to the front of your classroom using Cast Moderator on select Google TV devices. You can easily share content or media directly to the Cast receiver. Invite your students to cast their screens too using a secure access code. Keep class on track with the ability to turn casting on or off using your device's remote and by requiring students to use a code each time they connect. For educator Chromebooks, the Cast receiver can be automatically saved so that you don't need to re-enter a code every time you want to connect. Share, collaborate, learn, inspire with Chromebook.
So if you're interested in learning more and to stay in the loop on availability this fall, use the link here to sign up. It'd be great to get a sense of how many of you are using Chromebooks in school today. For everyone watching live, we just launched a poll on the right-hand side of the watch page. Let us know, does your school use Chromebooks? Regardless of whether you're at an all Chromebook school or you just use other devices for teachers, it comes down to reliability. It can be hard to run a lot of apps at the same time, especially on smaller screens or less powerful devices. And that's why we've been focusing on building devices specifically for teachers, featuring larger screens and better performance, and battery life that can last all day. Teachers can choose from powerful models from manufacturers like Acer, Asus, Dell, HP, Lenovo, and Samsung. And because so many teachers spend most of their time working on web apps like Google Docs and Drive and Classroom, Chromebooks make them faster and easier to use. Also, I know a lot of you just love convertibles. You can take your device, flip it into tablet mode, pull out your stylus. You basically have a wireless whiteboard ready to go. Speaking of stylus, we actually have a series of certified accessories that work with Chromebooks right out of the box. Headsets and styli and displays. And for everyone watching, check out the link on the screen to see more. Or look out for the Works with Chromebook logo on partners pages. Our team is always exploring how to make our devices even more useful, to make sure students are learning how to create content and share their ideas with industry-leading tools right on their Chromebooks. That way they're equipped with real-world skills for future careers. So we're trying something new. We're working with developers to optimize their products for Chromebooks and running pilots in real classrooms. We ran our first classroom pilot this spring with Figma, a leading collaborative design tool. Check out what it looks like. We're all creators at heart. We grow up with this innate imagination that's built into each of us. Figma is just an amazing collaborative design tool. Figma enables kids to create early and create often and share their ideas with other people.
We are so excited to partner with Chromebooks, especially because they share our values. And I hope that by providing Figma for free to schools, people will discover a passion for design, creativity, and software.
Figma makes graphic design so approachable, so friendly, playful even.
Using Figma with my students allows them to access their projects anytime, anywhere. That's a native kind of experience for them. Figma significantly helps with student engagement. It's already in a language they understand and are excited to use. I'm really excited that my students are able to continue working on things when they feel passionate, and they come in the next day and they're like, I did this last night. I was like, I didn't tell you to. And they just want to show me, and it's wonderful.
I think it is very easy for us to express or show what comes up in our head and like bring it out digitally onto the program.
Creativity unlocks so many more possibilities, and we're in this transition from a physical economy to a digital economy. To be a creator and a creative or a designer is so important, and visual communication skills are something that everyone needs to have going into the future.
If they don't know how to do that, they're not going to be as competitive when they leave for working in industry. That's something that's going to set them apart from their other peers
We either can live in a world where people with fancy degrees have access to opportunities to do more work in design and in software, or we can live in a world where everyone has access to those opportunities.
High school is a really important time for students. It's when so many of us start to ask, hey, what's next? And reality is that next is going to be creating digital content. The Chromebooks team at Google is so excited to be partnering with Figma to bring you this beta, and we can't wait to see what you and your students create. Starting today, Figma is announcing a free public beta for US high schools. You can deploy Figma and manage free app licenses, all from Google Admin Console. So you can install Figma to one or tens of thousands of students with a couple of clicks, just like Google Docs, Sheets, Slides, and Classroom. You can apply starting today to participate in the Figma beta later this summer. One way to keep machines out of the landfill is not to throw them away at all, but instead, to repair them. We recently introduced the Chromebook Repair Program with guides and resources so you can learn how to perform in-house repairs and minimize downtime. To access self-repair guides for our participating partners, Acer and Lenovo, visit our website. Additional OEMs are also going to be partnering with us, so stay tuned for more updates. Thanks everyone, that's it from Chrome. Now it's time to check in with James. He'll talk to you about how we're making Google for Education more accessible for all kinds of learners and educators.
Hi everyone, I'm James. Before joining the Google for Education team 9 years ago, I taught 6th and 7th grade math and English. And as a parent and a former teacher, one of the things I'm most excited about is how educational technology can help make learning more accessible for all children. EdTech opens up learning modalities that enable students to learn at their own pace and through the medium that suits them best. We've been working hard to make all Google for Education tools easier to use and critically more accessible and inclusive to the needs of all learners.
Hi, I'm May, and I work with our Google Educator communities. I get to hear firsthand how many of you use our tools to build more inclusive classrooms. As a result, we've put a lot of work into Chromebook accessibility features built for users with vision, hearing, or other disabilities. Tools like Chromevox, Select to Speak, and magnifiers have been adopted by a wide range of users. Have you ever tried Chromebook's dictation features to compose emails or search in Chrome? Personally, I use it to dictate speaker notes for upcoming presentations. You can edit using just your voice. You can simply say "new line" to move the cursor to another line, or "help" to see the full list of commands. But these features aren't just for Chrome. We specifically designed tools that make it easier to set up personal accessibility preferences. Previously, these preferences were shared across all workspace tools, meaning users needed to continuously turn them on and off. Well, we've changed that. For example, we've added improvements to high contrast mode within Google Docs, Sheets, and Slides to increase readability for users with low vision. High contrast mode will automatically work in these products without needing to turn on an editor-specific preference.
When we launched Read Along, a free reading app, our goal was to help young learners around the world learn to read in a fun and engaging way while allowing parents, guardians, and school leaders to monitor progress. The Android app offers readers more than 1,000 stories and word games in 11 languages. More than 20 million users have read over 85 million stories already in the app, and it has helped new readers gain confidence and grow a love for reading. In the next month, we'll make it available for more users by rolling out the beta for the new web version of Read Along, available at readalong.google.com. Anyone with an internet connection and a Google account will be able to try out the new online experience, no sign-up needed. Admins will be able to easily enable Read Along on the web for Google Workspace for Education users as an additional service in the admin console. We hope making it accessible to more users globally will help boost early childhood literacy. And now to Sam.
Thanks, James. And hello, everyone. I've worked in education for over 15 years, supporting educators and school administrators from a district level. We rely on teachers and education leaders to test and provide feedback on our new products and features because you're the ones using them every day. We read every single submission and use it to determine what we'll build next. Really, you are all an extension of our team. And in fact, many of the improvements we're highlighting today are a direct result of your input. Ready to shape the future of our products? Sign up for our global Google for Education pilot program at the link on the screen. And now's your chance. In March, we announced Practice Sets, a new feature coming to Google Classroom. It will soon be in beta, and we'd love for you to try it and tell us what you think. If you're not familiar with Practice Sets, it's built with adaptive learning technology to enable teachers to transform their existing content into interactive assignments. When working on one of these assignments, students receive instant feedback on their answers and real-time support if they get stuck along the way. Practice Sets will be globally available in beta and in English only for Google Workspace for Education customers with the Education Plus or the Teaching and Learning editions. Let's take a look at how to use them.
Learning is personal. Students stay more engaged and learn more effectively when they get feedback right away. But one-on-one help for each student isn't always possible with the learning tools that exist today. For educators, having a round-the-clock tutor for each student that could help them grade classwork and give insights into student comprehension would be ideal. That's why we're creating a new tool in Google Classroom called Practice Sets, which enables educators to create interactive assignments from their existing content or from scratch. Students can get help as they answer questions, and teachers can get automated insights to know where students are getting stuck. Let's take a look at how it works. Once teachers create practice sets using existing content or by writing their own questions, our adaptive learning technology identifies the relevant learning skills for each question and finds relevant hints and resources that will be available for students if they need help. With all the typical question types like multiple choice and short answer, practice sets also have a built-in math keyboard and use our adaptive learning technology to enable equivalent answers for robust auto-grading. Teachers assign practice sets in Google Classroom like any other assignment. Students open practice sets right from an assignment in Google Classroom. As they work, auto-grading lets them know right away if their solution is correct, which helps build confidence, keeps them engaged, and prevents one misunderstanding from impacting the entire set. If they don't get a question on the first try, built-in hints help them along. When a student is unsure of where to start, they can open a resources section, which provides recommended videos and concept cards for each learning skill. Additional features include designated space to show their work, allowing them to demonstrate understanding while giving their teacher visibility into their thinking. For assignments created with practice sets, you will have enhanced features in the Classroom Grader view. Teachers get a quick view of class performance and can see student work for every attempt they make per problem. Automated insights reveal class-wide trends, so teachers gain visibility and can adjust their teaching plan if many students struggle with the same question or concept. With practice sets, students get the help they need faster, and teachers get actionable insights about their class. We understand that no two learning journeys are the same, so we're building tools that work for you.
To get a better sense of how practice sets are used in real life, I'd like to introduce Hans, a 5th grade teacher, Google certified trainer, innovator, and educator. Hans, how would you see something like practice sets helping you in the classroom?
So the cool thing about practice sets is you can have a set of questions, and as students are answering them, they're getting immediate feedback. If they need help, they can have little hints to guide them along. And on the teacher side, you get to see global data that lets you make decisions to differentiate and better instruction for your students.
Sounds like it saves time for teachers and for students.
Definitely, for sure.
Another thing we're working on continuously is developing deeper integrations with student information systems, gradebooks, and popular applications and tools to ease the frustrations that come from using lots of tools for your classes. Let's take a quick poll to get a sense of what systems and capabilities you would most like to see more deeply integrated within Google Classroom. Cast your vote right now on the right-hand side of your screen.
All right, no matter how you voted, we've got good news for you. We're currently piloting classroom add-ons. Add-ons let you use popular EdTech tools and apps directly in Classroom, all with a single sign-on. Once admins set up each add-on from the Google Workspace Marketplace, teachers and students will automatically have access to their favorite tools within Classroom. We have a growing list, including IXL, Edpuzzle, Pear Deck, Kahoot, and Nearpod. Each add-on partner has a customized experience for browsing content, creating unique assignments, and grading. In the coming months, we'll be rolling out this feature to classroom teachers with Education Plus or the Teaching and Learning Upgrade, and the initial launch will include more than 15 add-ons. For example, educators can use the IXL add-on to browse content by skill level or subject. Once they find content to support their lesson, they can first preview the skill, then attach it right into an assignment. Or take Pear Deck, for example. When creating an assignment, you can create or add lessons from Pear Deck's library of content, assign them to students, and students can instantly jump into interactive lessons all within Classroom. The Edpuzzle add-on integrates assignments into the gradebook, giving teachers a detailed view of each student's performance. Certain question types, like multiple choice, have an automatic grading option. Teachers can also leave comments before returning a grade to students. With tools like Edpuzzle, teachers can spend less time managing tasks and more time individualizing instruction.
Another time saver for teachers and administrators are tighter integrations with your student information system. Last year, in partnership with Clever, we offered admins in the United States the ability to create classes and add students at scale within Classroom. With the roster import feature powered by Clever, school districts with Education Plus in the US are able to automate their integration with any student information system. Yes, that means removing the need to manually create classes. It's been great to see how this feature has helped simplify the back-to-school process. Later this year, we're making roster import more globally available by partnering with SIS integration expert Elevate Data Sync to expand to 15 countries. Schools with Education Plus that are interested in trying this out with Elevate Data Sync can sign up for the beta today. After signing up, admins will be able to integrate class lists and timetables directly with most major student information systems. This means that teachers no longer have to set up their courses manually. They can just click accept when their course is created, saving loads of time. So tell me, Hans, in your experience, how does technology help school administrators perform their tasks?
So as administrators try to support teachers, they're going to notice the one challenge that teachers constantly have is time. Time is so important to teachers because 80% of their time is in front of students. So when do you plan lessons? When do you grade? But administrators can help. Instead of adding more things onto the teacher's plate, they can give them back their time. And that's where these Google tools can really shine and help educators.
I hear that. In our interviews with dozens of education leaders, we've heard three main themes. You need better visibility, deeper insights, and ways to support teachers at scale. We're working on several new features designed for education leaders that will address these needs. These features give you an ability to view classes across your organization, a dashboard of actionable data, and management tools so you can easily share curriculum and resources. We aren't quite ready to share more details yet, but for those of you in our testing program, stay tuned for the chance to join our alpha and beta pilots and expect lots more updates about how we're empowering education leaders to achieve their goals and drive instructional impact. Speaking of supporting teachers, I know it takes a lot more than having the right tools. You have to know how to use them.
Exactly. The best way to learn is to get training, so teachers can get these tips and then apply them immediately.
Yes, that's exactly why we've created new training lessons to help all users get the most out of Classroom. Whether you're just starting out or exploring advanced features, we have 3 new video-based trainings from Applied Digital Skills covering features that help simplify class management and accelerate grading. For students, we have tools to show them how to get started with foundational topics like joining a class, interacting with classmates digitally, and submitting assignments. You can easily find all of these and more training and instructional resources on the Applied Digital Skills website or the Teacher Center. Thanks again for joining to help me out, Hans.
Thank you so much for having me, Sam.
And beyond training, we're making a broad range of improvements to existing products and developing new ones based on your feedback. For example, schools using originality reports in the Education Plus and the Teaching and Learning Upgrade will be able to backfill their school-owned repository with previous student submissions to Classroom and assignments. This additional material will give teachers the ability to compare student-to-student matches between past classes, in addition to the currently available current classes, hundreds of billions of web pages, and over 40 million books. Originality reports can now analyze Microsoft Word documents and run reports in more languages, including English, French, Spanish, and Portuguese. And now we're adding Romanian, Dutch, Polish, Hindi, Thai, and Filipino.
And teachers, when it comes to adding dynamic content to your classes, we've also made it easier and more intuitive to find, evaluate, and add YouTube videos to your lessons in Google Classroom. We've added larger thumbnail images and the ability to filter videos by duration. And when you or your students are watching a video, you'll now see a larger video player. We've also made it easier to export grades from Classroom to the gradebook in your student information system thanks to direct integrations with top platforms like Infinite Campus, Skyward, and Follett Aspen. With grade export, teachers can choose which assignments they want to export, eliminating the need to manually copy grades into your SIS. Guided by your feedback, we're prioritizing a range of improvements that will make grade export more reliable and easier to use. For example, we've added action-oriented messages that guide teachers through the process to give them a real-time view of student progress.
We've also made improvements to Classroom's email and push notifications. Later this year, teachers will be able to reply to students from within their email notifications in Gmail, just like you would to comments in Google Docs. And for those of you using Classroom on your mobile device, you can now tailor notification settings for both email and push notifications. Last but not least, we're updating our notification emails so that teachers and students can get the information they need with a quick scan. Thanks for sticking around to hear all about what's new with Classroom. Now I'm going to pass you over to May so she can tell you more about everything that's happening with Google Meet.
Thanks, Sam. As I mentioned earlier, I work with our Google Educator communities. A big hi to all of our innovators, coaches, and trainers out there. We want you to know that teachers have a voice and a hand in how and what we build. In fact, our hand-raising feature in Meet was a direct result of a suggestion from a classroom teacher. They were looking for another way to help moderate discussions and bring in a bit of the traditional classroom atmosphere when teaching remotely. On that note, I'm so happy to introduce you to 4th grade teacher and Google certified trainer, Carolyn Kim. Welcome, Carolyn.
Hi, May.
Can you tell me a little bit about your experience over the last few years?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a really challenging, growing year for educators.
I bet.
And it was a really great time and a really challenging time as well. One of the things that we continue to use is Google Meet.
What in particular do you love about Google Meet?
I think that Meet really brought us back together at a time when we were so separate. We were doing school from our own homes and their worlds shrank. They didn't have access to anyone anymore. And so what Google Meet did for us is it opened up their world again. So they had access to me as a teacher. They had access to each other. And we could have conversations and some of the synergy that we miss from being in a physical classroom.
I know one thing that we heard from educators really loud and clear is that you would love to see your students while you're presenting, right?
Absolutely.
So something that's up and coming is that we're now having this picture-in-picture feature where you can see up to 4 students in a tile kind of floating around on top of your applications so that while you're presenting, you can see them. And then once you want to go back, it's just one click to go back to the standard mode.
That's so great because that replicates what we do in class, the magic of the classroom. So I can see what the kids are seeing, but then I can also interact with them face to face as they're reacting to what they see. So I love that.
Hi everyone, I'm Michael. I lead the Google Educator communities. And fun fact, in my past life, I was a university faculty member. One thing we learned speaking to educators is that video was and remains a critical teaching tool. That's why we're continuing to add functionality to Meet and make it more useful for the classroom. Some of the new features include additional moderation controls. To help minimize distractions, teachers will now have the ability to prevent entire groups or individual users from presenting, or from using chat, polls, and Q&A features in Meet. Also, instead of sharing your screen and managing multiple tabs to make updates or edits on the fly, you can now host and join Meet right in Docs, Sheets, and Slides. And for Education Plus and Teaching and Learning Upgrade users, we've added live translation and captions for participants as they speak. Live translated captions can help break down language barriers, allowing everyone to participate in language classes, for multilingual audiences, and even parent or guardian teacher conferences. We currently support English meetings translated to Spanish, French, Portuguese, and German. We're also announcing a bunch of new features today, including auto transcription. Customers with Education Plus or the Teaching and Learning Upgrade can now save a word-for-word transcript of video meetings in a Google Doc. Transcriptions make it easy to edit, review, search, and share lessons with students.
All right, before I introduce our next feature, I'd like to take a quick poll. Check your screen and cast your vote. How many of you would like to add Q&A and polls to your live streams in Meet? For those voting yes, you're in luck. Soon, customers with the Education Plus or the Teaching and Learning Upgrade will be able to include up to 100,000 participants in your live stream to take part in live Q&A sessions and polls. Choose from single choice or multiple choice polling questions, even conduct anonymous polls, and get results during and after your meeting. With Q&A features, you can allow attendees to ask questions in session to the host, co-host, and panelists.
Thanks, May. And finally, over the last couple of years, we've all found new ways to stay connected. Having easy ways to invite your community into a shared experience, whether it be a virtual event, concert, play, or even graduation, helps everyone feel connected to their learning community. That's why we're excited to announce that users will soon be able to share your school's biggest moments with the entire community and the world. Meet offers the ability to live stream public events to YouTube, which is available to Education Plus or Teaching and Learning Upgrade customers. For more ways to collaborate, communicate, and moderate in Meet, be sure to take a look at our Google Workspace Updates blog for more recent launches. And with that, I'll pass it back to Tom to close out our broadcast.
Thanks, May and Michael. And thank you, all of you, for taking time to be a part of the Anywhere School 2022. We believe learning is for everyone, and that everyone, students and educators, should have access to resources that will enable them to realize their personal potential. We hope you've seen how seriously we take your advice, and that your input is reflected in the new tools, resources, and devices that we've shared with you today. And remember, if you're interested in helping shape the future of Chrome, Classroom, and Google Workspace for education, we'd love for you to sign up to be part of the Google for Education pilot program. So head over and continue the conversation on Twitter with the hashtag GoogleEDU. In closing, I'd like to play a clip from Hans Tolman, the 5th grade teacher we heard from earlier. You know, we've been particularly moved by his thoughts on the impact technology has had in his classroom and where he sees it taking us.
The future of teaching and learning has fundamentally changed. It's all about students taking ownership of their learning, which tech has helped cement and accelerate. And now, teachers are the facilitators and guides versus the purveyors of knowledge. It's all about getting students to learn how to learn. In the classroom, we used to have to raise hands and we'd just hear from a few students. But with digital tools, we get to hear every voice, and in turn, they get to hear others. It's been a challenging few years. Virtual teaching had never been done before, and it was daunting and unprecedented. It wasn't perfect, but it's given us even more appreciation for what's possible now that we're back together in person for the most part. And above all, we learn things that will stick around beyond the pandemic.
We want to continue developing products and features that meet the needs of students and teachers today and in the future. The magic happens when tech is put in the hands of teachers who know how to engage students, to challenge them, and instill that love of learning. We know that education is not one size fits all, and neither is the technology that powers education. So for all the teachers, education leaders, parents, and guardians out there working to make learning personal for each and every student, we admire you, we respect you, and we appreciate you. Thanks for joining us. We can't wait to continue to work with all of you.